What's going on, everybody? How we doing? This is a donation request. This is for Thomas. This is David Coverdale solo off of his his debut solo album, White Snake 77. Very cool. Album was released as a part of a compilation album, White Snake North Winds, in 1988. Coverdale later admitted, "It's very difficult to think back and talk sensible about the first album. White Snake had been a very inward-looking, reflective, and low-key affair in many ways, written and recorded as it was in the aftermath of the collapse of Deep Purple." Okay. Oh, mixed reviews. 2 out of 5 stars. A tentative, generally disappointing album because Coverdale is clearly flummoxed regarding the direction the music should take, mixing blues, rock, R&B, and soul music with the track Blindman, which is the track we're doing today, Blindman, as the best song because of its blues rock purity, and sounds ultimately future White Snake. Okay, there you go. They're mediocre listening, the product of a man uncertain about where to take his... Oh, this is the sentence from the previous album also. Well, the one after that. Yeah, I mean, not knowing a lot about him and his career, and just from what I'm reading and what I've heard so far, I would say this sentence, the product of a man uncertain about where to take his music. Definitely, he's messing around, he's experimenting with different things, he's throwing different directions, right? Mixing different stuff. I don't have a problem with any of that. Honestly, I don't. It's just interesting that now, looking back, he's got this career, and you can then clearly see that this is what he was doing during this period, apparently, because it's like, oh, nothing that you do sounds anything like that. And you were just it was like what you were doing in the meantime between these two things, right? Not that it makes it bad, right? It doesn't, I'm not saying that in terms of like it makes it bad or he shouldn't have done it or anything like that. Not at all. Not at all. I just think it's interesting. That's all. So, okay. So that's the track we're checking out on this album is Blindman. Simon Phillips is on this. So we know this is going to be great drumming. Yeah, Roger Glover plays bass on this. He produced it also, but he produced the second album, but didn't play bass on it. So that's interesting. But yeah, so I assume that the playing is going to be great. Let's get into it. All right, here it is. Let's do it. Bam.
I was dreaming of the past. Why do good times never last? Help me, Jesus, show the way. I can hold on another day. I was hungry, feeling low. I just couldn't make out
Sounds
which way to go.
big.
Chasing rainbows,
I don't think it sounds like dated production at all.
road is long.
I mean, I don't know, I suppose, but I don't dislike. I like the era, so I don't dislike it.
Be my friend, be my brother. Be the piper, play the chord. Cross the 7 seas of wonder. Be the guardian of my soul.
All right. Yeah. Easily my favorite so far. Right? This is the third one that I've heard so far. This one is easily my favorite. Easily. Feels great, right? The other one, the last track, I also said had a great feel. This has a great feel. It's different, right? We got a different rhythm section. This rhythm section, the other rhythm section sounded great. They sounded fine, all that kind of thing. These guys sound like they could go further than the other cats. They do. Just from this, they just sound like it. They sound like it. Like forget, like, yeah, okay, I know who they are, but like they, even though I'm not familiar with Deep Purple, right? I'm not super familiar with Roger Glover, really. I'm way more familiar with Simon Phillips, like way more. And he's fantastic. But this is, like early, right? This is earlier for him. They just sound great. They sound great. Everything feels fantastic. Everything is really tasteful, but yet they're filling in space and being, playful in their playing. Yeah, this just feels great. I love it. Yeah, this is a great track. Just started out sounded really big. The other thing that I noticed is that the vocals are not specifically way out front. They're kind of in the mix, like within the band is covering it. Like the vocals aren't the loudest. They're not just like way out there in your face. You didn't not hear them. You didn't like miss them, or I didn't specifically think like, oh, I want them louder. They could have been louder, and I don't think it would have been a problem, but I just noticed that they were way more in the mix, like with the rest of the band. So I thought that was interesting. You really heard the bass and the drums really well. Yeah, I think that it sounds great. I really like this era, all this style. So I liked it. I think it's great. Yeah, feels great. Yeah, great synth. This is a great track to me. This is a great track. I really like it. Bass playing solid, super solid. Drumming is super solid. I mean, they sound great. He sounds great, right? David sounds great vocally. It's awesome. Yeah, so what is that? That's Roger Glover doing the synth stuff. Yeah, awesome. Really cool. Just taking it to the next level. Great stuff. Great. Loved it. Yeah, that's a solid track right there. Gotta say. Solid track. I'm down with it. Great track. He sounds great. Cool. They said it was the best one. They did some of it, right? Blindman as the best song because of its blues rock purity and ultimately future Whitesnake. I mean, I thought it was great. I just don't think it's badly dated production. I mean, I guess I hear how it's like, okay, yeah, this sounds like, it's 70s. But I like 70s music largely. I largely like 70s music. So I like how it sounds. I think that, the rhythm section, the production of rhythm section not only sounds, but also feels fantastic in the 70s. And you just can't not feel that, you can't, it just comes on. You're just like, oh, yeah. So I think it's great with a lazy barroom style. A bit of brass and Ace backing singers. This is David Coverdale, as few have heard him. Okay. Had Hole in the Sky provide Coverdale with a hit. He might well have sailed off into Frankie Miller, Joe Cocker territory. Wow. Okay. See, so I, without a second thought about asking anyone to lie down or let him slide. Okay. Yeah. See, I brought up Joe Cocker in the last something like it is like a little bit of a Joe Cocker type of vibe to me. Right, type of feel in terms of like his singing and stylistically what he was doing. it reminded me of that. You know, I'm not ultra familiar with Joe Cocker either, but I've heard enough to, you know, to get it. But this track is great. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Cool. All right, we got a couple more David Coverdale left. We'll see what they are. I'll catch you then later.